All right, video number 3 in the educational series for open enrollment. First video we talked about types of health insurance and what's available out there and how we roll in the individual market, which is 13% of the country. And we talked about what's available on the individual market in video number 2, which is the ACA plans and then the non-ACA plans. Here we're going to talk about the non-ACA plans, and we're really going to dig into the types of policies that are available outside of the marketplace. And it's really going to be, these policies are going to come primarily in 2 forms, all right? Number 1 is a short-term medical, okay? And number 2 is going to be a defined medical, all right? And I'm going to explain what each of those are. A short-term medical acts similarly to a major medical in a lot of cases, where you're going to have a maximum out of pocket and then you're going to be covered fully up to a specific amount. And you got to be careful now if you're going the short-term medical route, because there are some short-term medicals out there that act as defined medicals. Okay, so if you're going to go with a short-term medical route, you really want to find a carrier that's going to give you a specific maximum out of pocket, and then you're going to be covered all the way up to whether it's $1 million or $2 million. So some of the pros to a short-term medical would be the fact that you could have a maximum out of pocket defined, right? And it kind of serves and acts as a major medical. What are the cons to a short-term medical? And I think it's in the title. It's short-term, right? It expires, which in my opinion is a con, because if I have a customer that purchases a short-term plan for, let's say, 12 months, what if they are diagnosed with cancer or heart attack or stroke 6, 7, 8 months into the policy? You know, diseases like that are certainly going to require ongoing care. So now you've got this policy to get your care started, but when the policy expires, what are you going to do? You're left with no insurance and uninsurable at that point. So, but anyway, that would be one of the big cons of a short-term medical. Defined medical is a policy that is permanent, okay, which is definitely one of the pros for a defined medical. It's a permanent policy, and the benefits are all defined, all right? Oh, I didn't spell that. Permanent. It's a permanent policy, guaranteed renewable. As long as you pay your premiums, you're always going to have the coverage. In many cases, these policies come with first dollar coverage, which is a 0 deductible, no high deductible to meet. Another pro, right? First dollar coverage or no deductible, right? What are some of the cons to a policy like this, a defined medical? It would be that there is no maximum out of pocket for a defined medical. A defined medical is going to be a really good policy for the things that people might, use their health insurance for on a regular basis, the doctor's visit, maybe have some wellness benefits on an annual basis, the occasional prescription and things like that. But if you have cancer, you have one of those shock claims, as they're called, in the group world, right? Then, you could certainly, you're inevitably going to be left with some bills, right? Because the defined medical is going to give you a defined benefit amount. And for example, it could be $3,000 a day in the hospital or $5,000 a day in the hospital. It's going to give you that defined benefit amount, okay? On top of that, you're going to have, the PPO network discount and everything like that. But again, you're inevitably going to have some out of pocket with those bigger claims. So if you go with a defined medical, you certainly want to include a critical illness policy, which is going to be video 4. We're going to talk about. So no out of pocket maximum, biggest con in a defined medical program. But those are your 2 main types of policies outside of the marketplace this year. And again, hopefully you find some value, and if you're having a hard time determining what is the best fit for you, give us a call and we'll be able to do that for you. Go to Benefits Management Team, our page, like us, and check out video 4 for critical illness benefits in our educational series.
Join the team and let us manage your benefits at Benefits Management Team.